What is up, YouTube? My name is Cordell, otherwise known as the Halftime Fan, and I just want to say thank you so much for clicking and joining me on my first ever sports podcast. Now, whether you join because of interest or by accident, I just want to say thank you so much, and I hope you stay and enjoy the video. Now, jumping right into it, I know I'm a little late to the game, so I decided to do a preseason recap of everything highlighted, basically of note, that happened this preseason that you may or may not have missed. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is Ezekiel Elliott and his 6-game suspension. Now, Ezekiel Elliott was suspended for the first 6 games of the regular season due to a domestic violence dispute that he had received last year with his so-called ex-girlfriend. Now, hopefully Ezekiel Elliott plans to make an appeal this Saturday and that it goes through. And I just hope that he's not guilty of what he's been accused for, because there's so many bad things and domestic violence disputes already going on in the NFL that we don't need one more to. Just in general, domestic disputes aren't okay. Next thing I want to talk about is injuries. So bad news for the Pats fans. Julian Edelman and Cyrus Jones are both out for the season with torn ACLs. Now, it's going to kind of be pretty hard to make up for the productivity and production that Edelman brings to the table, but hopefully with newly required receiver Brandon Cooks from the New Orleans Saints, the Patriots won't see a very decline in their offense. Now, with Cyrus Jones, it's not too much of a really big hit, considering last year, in his rookie year, he had a lot of struggles holding the ball, punt returns, and defending. Not to mention this year, with in training camps, he struggled a lot. Now, it is a loss, but it's not too big of a hit, but it is a loss nonetheless. Next thing on injuries, we have Bengals rookie wide receiver John Ross, otherwise known as the fastest man in the NFL, sustained a knee injury during one of the preseason games. Now, good news is that they don't believe it to be too serious and that he should start again fairly soon. So hopefully he'll be making a start for them in his debut when the NFL season, the regular season, begins. Now, lastly I want to talk about is, you know him as the NFL's favorite diva, Odell Beckham Jr. Now, Odell Beckham Jr. sustained an ankle injury during Week 2 preseason game against the Cleveland Browns. The good news is that it wasn't supposed to be too serious and that he should start for Week 1 of the regular season. Continuing with the Browns, what you might have saw recently in the preseason is that the Browns, during the national anthem, a majority of their players took a knee in a circle in protest of the unjust conditions that are happening right now in the league. Now, teammate Anquan Boldin retires after 14 seasons in the NFL. Now, Anquan Boldin, recently picked up by the Bills, was supposed to be paired with Sammy Watkins and provide veteran leadership in the locker room, but recently retired 2 weeks into the preseason. Now, whether that's because Sammy Watkins recently traded to the Los Angeles Rams next to nothing to be paired with Jared Goff, I think it more has something to do with, in one of the preseason games, Anquan Boldin had 1 catch for 5 yards, and at some point you kind of see a very significant drop in productivity, and you kind of knew that it was his time to go. Unfortunately, I wish he'd have went out on better circumstances and maybe played the full season, but it is what it is. Lastly, I want to talk about is DeAndre Hopkins. Now, DeAndre Hopkins just signed a 5-year extension with the Texans for $81 million. Now, all I have to say for that is it's a good pickup. He's a good player, and it's really smart of them to re-sign him. I mean, to not would be very, very stupid. So that is all I have for you today, and kind of sums up a little bit of what happened during the preseason. Obviously, it's not everything. I wouldn't be able to touch on everything. This would be a much longer video. But no, I just want to say thank you so much for staying and watching. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe in the video. And I hope you stay, because I'll be bringing a lot more content like this to you on a weekly basis. And when I get more comfortable with my software and learn how to do the editing a little more better, I'll be bringing it to you on a daily basis. Thank you so much again. Y'all have been great. See you next time.